All right, hello there and a very good morning. Welcome to the broadcast this morning. This is the Breakfast Show. It is the 6th of February 2026. My name is Bill Clinton Odhiambo and my sign language interpreter this morning is Gideon Maina. This morning I'll be taking you through the news-making headlines before we take a look at the business news and later on dive in to the world of sports. Let's begin with the changes at the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, Iebc, where Moses Ledama Sunkuli has been appointed Acting Chief Executive Officer and Commission Secretary effective immediately. Sunkuli, who currently serves as the Commission's Director of Electoral Operations and Voter Registration, will act in the role for 6 months or until a substantive CEO is appointed. The Commission's decision bypassed 2 Deputy Commission Secretaries, Obadiah Keitang and Ruth Hulundu, in the latest shakeup. President William Ruto has affirmed that no youth will be discriminated against in the disbursement of the Nyota program funds. The president, speaking while in Malindi during the disbursement of Kenya shillings 126 million to youth from Kilifi, Lamu and Tana River counties, said the program complements other key initiatives including the affordable housing program, Kazi Maju, amongst others.
Mengia. Hi, Mengia. Hebu nione. Do you know the kind of business biashara gani?
Nitaingia tu hapo Kongoya nitafute kamera kalikali za mtumba. Nilete mtaani na uzie mtaani.
I'm a business-minded person. It's just that I don't have the capitals to start since before. So I'm passionate about cosmetics.
Alafu pia alikuwa anapata ile discourage ni watu wanakuambia hiyo ni uongo, haiwezi kuwa ni ukweli.
Yale tu ni yale mambo tu ya Ruto.
Mambo tu ya Ruto, haiwezi kuwa ni ukweli.
Kuna kijana hapa ameletwa na mwanasiasa ama na mtu yeyote. We want inclusivity. We want every young person, irrespective of their background. You must get an opportunity like every other young person in Kenya. Likubaliana kazi ni kazi. Ikipatikana Kenya, tufanye. Ikipatikana kwa mjengo, tufanye. Ikipatikana kwa mtandao, tufanye. Ikipatikana nje ya Kenya, tufanye. Lakini Kenya hii, kwa mapenzi ya Mungu, inshallah, tunaibadilisha hatua kwa hatua.
Toka ufungue maombi wiki moja imepita, kuna vijana 265,000 ambao tayari wametuma maombi yao.
Sisi kama county tutatoa leseni ya wale wote ambao wataanza biashara na hiyo pesa.
Hii ndio itatusaidia tupanue uchumi wetu, tuongeze idadi ya Wakenya ambao riziki yao wanaipata kupitia jasho lao.
Nyandarua Governor Dr. Moses Kiarie, County Attorney, Procurement Officers and other finance officers in the county questioned after the Senate County Public Accounts Committee established the county executive breached the law, costing the residents of Nyandarua billions of shillings. This comes after the Nyandarua County government terminated a 1.5 billion shillings contract after spending 900 million shillings to clear asbestos from the rooftops of JM Karaoke County Referral Hospital. According to the Auditor General, there was no value for money after establishing that there was no work done at the said facility.
0.5 billion contract. That is not a matter that requires the professional opinion of the head of procurement. And unless then that becomes the black hole that we use to do funny things. So you can expect scrutiny. And please, such a big name should not be muddled with scandal and controversy. Mental agreement, does it exist?
At the moment, it doesn't exist, but we'll follow it up.
Okay, I think that has been established as a fact.
Is proposed completion of works and removal of asbestos roofing at JM Karaoke level 5. You gave out a tender of 988 million.
But looking at the work he had done, they compared with others, they decided that they would want to continue.
80% of your total revenues is amounts owed to suppliers, staff, and other entities. I don't know whether Nyandarua should be dissolved.
We've been calling these suppliers to come and make claims. Some of them are not available.
Activism, human rights defenders are raising alarm over what they describe as shrinking civic space in the country, warning that the trend poses a threat to freedom of expression and democracy. Speaking during the launch of the research report on activism in Kenya, the stakeholders in the sector called for concerned efforts in protecting this space to enhance socio-economic and political conversations and amplify the voices of the underrepresented in the society.
Been shrinking. I mean, in the last year, there are laws that have been introduced, bills that have been introduced to further censor and curtail any dissenting voices. And so government, as citizens, as business people, as church, we can't say that I don't care about politics, because politics is affecting our what we put on the table, if we even have anything to put on the table. So it's inviting all these players to see how we can move together to move this country to the place that we want it to be.
I think it's absolutely possible for young people to get more involved and for artists to rally up voter registration amongst all Kenyans, whatever the demographic, because art is very powerful. In all its forms, culture is what really moves a nation. And it's been seen time and time again, not only in Kenya, but across the world, about how artists, when they decide to very consciously use their spaces to drum up support for anything, let's say registration of voters.
Now move on to matters of business. And the Kenya National, Kenya's private sector is urging the government to fix long-standing challenges that continue to affect business growth in the region. At the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, KNCCI, annual general meeting in Nairobi, business leaders use the platform to push for lower costs for taxation and easier access to government opportunities, warning that policy gaps could slow economic recovery.
And regulatory compliance costs account for 20 to 30% of the small medium enterprises' initial capital expenditure. KNCCI will want to advocate for harmonization and consolidation of the national and county licenses, elimination of duplicate permits, levies, and inspections, single window licensing platforms, adoption of one business, one license principle for Kenya. We want to see the participation of local companies, especially in getting subcontracts and not only supplies to these PPP projects that you are rolling out in National Treasury.
Committed to fostering an enabling business environment through a stable, predictable, and fair tax regime. Our approach to domestic resource mobilization seeks to balance revenue needs with economic growth, competitiveness, and equity.
So if we are able to ensure as government that the enabling environment works for our business people, then business will prosper.
Take on matters of sports, where the Kenya National Basketball League defending champions, Nairobi City Thunder, announced Send Up as their new premier sponsor for the 2025-2026 season, while unveiling a refreshed team blending returning stars with fresh talent. The collaboration comes at an important time for the club as they gear up to defend their back-to-back undefeated league titles and compete in the second Basketball Africa League, commonly known as BAL, competitions.
It's a lot of what Nairobi City Thunder does, and we want to connect with Africans all over the globe and push borders. And so a lot of our values are aligned with Senda, and we're excited to have them on board as our premier sponsor for the upcoming season.
It's a global brand, and as we grow as Nairobi City Thunder, it's really important for us and significant for us to be partnering with bigger global brands as we which align with our ambition to be a Pan-African powerhouse and to compete at the Pan-African level.
We're working on that. We hope to have that happen, as well as forming kind of an elite competition team here locally, which would be a mixture of top local players as well as some international players for our BAL team to compete against on a regular basis. We did something similar in our preparations for Elite 16. We felt like it worked really well. We felt well prepared, and so we'll kind of use a similar model in our preparations for BAL.
Bad news as far as the KPL is concerned. Kakamega Homeboys FC has confirmed the death of defender Silas Abungana while undergoing treatment at the Kakamega County General Hospital. According to a statement by the club, Silas died a few minutes before midnight on Wednesday, February 4th, while receiving treatment at Kakamega County General Hospital. According to the statement, he succumbed to head injuries sustained during an attack on Tuesday, February 3rd.
Sisi tujawahi kukombana. Sisi hatuna maneno mengi. Kwa nini unasema hata na mimi niko na mtoto wa miezi 4. Silas akajibu akasema, ulikuwa unataka aje? Ulikuwa unataka unifanye nini? Ndiye kijana akaenda kwa nyumba pole pole, akachukua kitu kama kuni, tamu inatoka.
Sema kwamba tumepata shida kubwa sana katika kupoteza huyu kijana. Last game tumekuwa tukicheza hapa na Mara Sugar, amekuwa katika team na aliperform vizuri zaidi. So sisi tumepoteza, na watu kama Kakamega County, tuseme Kenya mzima pia tumepoteza.
So far hatujashika, lakini tuko na familia hapa wao, sababu ni jambo ambayo ilifanyika kwa family. Lakini baadhi ya family members, isipokuwa tunaambiwa kijana yule mwenye alimpiga alitoroka.
We had for you this morning as far as the news is concerned. Thank you so much for making time this morning. Be sure to catch up with subsequent bulletins throughout the day. I've been your host, Bill Clinton Odhiambo. My channel interpreter has been Gideon Maina. Once again, thank you so much and have yourselves a good day.